When I first came on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, everybody was saying that if I could make Kim sound the way she sound, then they know that I could do it for them. And I was having just people out the street coming up to me almost every other day asking me could I help them musically, you know. So I thought it was kind of a cool idea. I wanted to go into producing TV shows myself, and
wow. I guess
I was still my way. I was holding. I was trying to get rid of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was one of two ideas that I pitched to Bravo, and they liked the idea. At first, it was called "I Can Make You Hot," right? Yeah, something like that. And then, you know, it just changed, it evolved. The title changed to the Kandi Factory. When we're working with the artists, we only have 5 days total with them. First day they get there, they get a copy of their song. One of them actually goes into the studio the same night. By the 3rd day, both songs are recorded, they're in choreography. 4th day, they're changing their image, and 5th day they're on stage in front of the live audience.
And can you tell them, just so they can understand the big deal in this, how long people normally stay in artist development before they even perform live, or just what that whole...
Well, you know, it varies as far as with artist development. To me, artist development is a lost form. You know, they used to do it a lot back in the 90s when I first came in the industry. You know, a lot of record labels would invest time into their artists, putting them into artist development, and that's like a process. It's like a time you can have them working out, have them with the vocal coaches. You know, you're doing everything you can to make sure you put out the best product. You're working with them on their image. You got them in, coaching as far as interview coaching, so that they won't say crazy things, you know, during media training. You know, now we're living in a microwave society as far as the music industry is concerned, so it's just like they just want you, as soon as you come to them, they throwing you out here. You know, I love my team. This right here is Kwame. He is a stylist that's been in the industry for a while now, but we're also besties. One of my best friends. We've been friends since 15. Yeah. Since we were 15. And you know, so for me, it's really cool that we can take this journey together. You know, another step in our friendship and business. Yeah. Sometimes that don't work. You know? But you know, he's cool and he can deal with me as far as how I am in business. As a friend, I'm totally different than I am as a business person. Look at Don Juan over there making like, as a friend, I don't even raise my voice for half this stuff. I'll be like, yeah, whatever, I'll let you do. As a friend. Oh. Carmen's over there. Carmen, she can attest to that. That Carmen is working for me now too. She's one of my, I have 3 best friends, Carmen, Kwame, and Tan. Tan's not here. But Carmen, she's been put to the test this past year because this has been a very stressful year for me and them. But going straight from doing Housewives into taping Kandi Factory with non-stop, no breaks. So, but as a businesswoman, I'm like, I want it how I want it. I want it done then. I don't want to hear no excuses. And I'm very snappy sometimes, but that's why they had to really love me to work for me. Selassie and I have been friends for about 6 years now.
2006.
Okay, that was close. Yes, I love working with Selassie. He's not only an engineer, he's a producer himself, an artist himself. So he definitely has vision all the way around. But on the show, you see him mostly working with our artist as the engineer because he's the one that I cannot really do without. I'm not sure if you realize, but like on every session that I've done on Housewives, as well as Kandi Factory, he's always the person that's in the studio with me. I've worked with different producers, but I work with the same engineer. I try not to work with somebody else because, you know, he knows how I like things. He knows how to tweak people the way that I need them to be. He's a master at, you know, getting them to sound the way they need to sound, you know. And he's very patient. And it takes a lot of patience in the studio. You will see on tonight's episode, Vito's not here, but Selassie and Vito kind of bump heads, which we'll talk about it later. But I mean, I'm sure you saw in the commercial when Selassie was like, "What you doing here? We don't need you here anyway." Selassie feels like, you know, he do everything and I do everything. Like, we don't need nothing. It's just me and you against the world. Musically. I didn't mean that in shit. Then over here we got Victor. Victor, choreographer extraordinaire. He's worked with so many different artists, from R&B to rap music. He developed Lil Wayne's stage show for the last tour he did. And you know, he just has a wide range of talent as far as dealing with different types of artists. But he is very stern in his approach. So sometimes he really bumps heads with the artists. And this is not an act. This is how they really are. And Victor is so funny to me. I used to be like, he's so sweet. And all the dancers that work with him be like, he's an asshole. But, you know, I understand you. We understand each other. But he's great to work with, so. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to let somebody else talk.
Thank you for being here, everyone. Welcome to the Kandi Factory. I don't know, we shot this, we started back in October. Yeah, we started back in October. And we got it was like a 30-page dossier of just who was coming, what their stories were, clippings of their audition tapes. And I just remember like us calling each other being like, oh, did you see who coming week 3? Oh my God, week 7, what are we gonna do with that? Oh my God, look at that, Kwame, oh. Like it was just so, it was so much pressure. It was a very pressure-filled situation.
Yes.
And just knowing, and I mean, Kandi is like a slave driver. And it's very much like, this need to be right, because if this not right, they're gonna say, we not doing our job, and if we not doing our job, we just like, it's gonna be right. I just have to, I gotta find 10 dancers, I gotta hire a band, I gotta get candelabras. Kwame has to find like 50 different options for each person. Selassie has to make somebody who sounds like trash sound like $1 million bucks. And I mean, it was a very, very intense situation, but I think we can all say like it was really, really worth it.